choice of thing. It's everybody's thing.
Most of us were in the civil rights movement, but it was just a beginning. We were still poor, and we still couldn't find jobs. Many of our brothers and sisters were forced out of farming by large landowners with machines and chemicals. Some of us struggled to keep our land, but we couldn't sell our crops at a fair price. So we decided to work together to build something of our own to grow on. We decided that a cooperative was what we needed to save our land and way of life.
Well, I thought it was something good to help the low-income people. That's why I joined. My husband done retired, and I'm got to do all the little scuffling and trying to, get by. The little end check he gets, once a month, it didn't take care of the business and whatnot, so we decided to plant okra to help us out. The income we getting, it helps us so much. And so without SWAP, I don't see how we going to, make it. Because I thought once, they was going to stop taking the okra. And I said, Lord, I don't want to have a heart attack. Got all this okra in the field and nowhere to sell it to. So what's going to happen? Because if it wasn't for SWAP, there's nowhere to sell it to.
SWAP is a cooperative that was organized to serve the needs of the small farmers in this area. In the last 10 years, mechanization of the farms created a situation where quite a few of these farmers were without anything to do. So this cooperative was organized to be able to provide an income for the small farmer on a small amount of land. So we chose to go into what we call a vegetable producing co-op.
We grew our own crops on our own land, but the packing shed is owned by all of us, and we each have an equal voice in running it. Our shed isn't making a profit off us, so we get the best possible price for our crops, and we can employ some of our young people to work. It takes long, hard hours to work to grade and pack the crops, but that isn't enough. You have to make contact with buyers and know how to sell to get the best price, and you have to teach members how to produce a uniform crop suitable for sale. We just couldn't do that on our own. So we met with 22 other co-ops and started the Federation of Southern Cooperatives in 1967. The Federation provides marketing, training, assistance in bookkeeping and accounting, management help, and other services to member co-ops.
I hadn't been able to go down to the shed this year. But now, year before last, I used to take the okra. But now since I got ill mother at home, I don't go. I used to just ride down there with my husband. And I just enjoying down there with the people grading okra and just getting together, helping one another out down there. We just go to the, belt and we just help each other to grade the okra out.
We was a bunch of farmers who was out there struggling, trying to sell our sweet potato. They had most of the small and the black farmer didn't had an outlet to sell the sweet potato. For an example, like right now is the peak of the harvesting time, and they wouldn't even give us a crate to harvest our potato. So we a bunch of farmers. I was also a farmer at that time, a sharecropper, that got together and tried to get something going. we was able to organize Grand Marie in 1965 and 66. And at that very same year, some of the shippers was stopping some of our members' truck on the road to try to get them to come to their shed. But most of the people stuck with the cooperative.
Well, the biggest problem is to get the members together. We had money problem, financial problem in the past. And the members was kind of skeptical about bringing the potato there because they was afraid they wouldn't go get paid right away. And most small farmers, as you know, they need the money as they pack the potatoes to keep on going.
The co-op's potatoes might never get sold without help from the Federation. Most of them go to chain stores and wholesalers, but more and more are being sold directly to food co-ops and buying clubs.
I come here at 6:30 in the morning. I stay till some nights 6, 7. A lot of time I stay here till 9:30, 10 o'clock when some people have to bring some potato in. I have to wait till the potato get here. I know I'm working for these people and I want to see that they get the best benefit from their crop or whatever I do for them. I have a very close relationship with the Federation and they've been giving me marketing advice. Last 2 or 3 years, their funding situation had been very low, but in the past, you know, the Federation have paid management subsidy down here and also some money at, you know, grant money when they had it. I had some problem which I didn't see, and you know, I came as a sharecropper. I have a 3rd grade education, so I relied on people like George and people like that to give me some information, technical assistance on marketing or anything that I need, you know, in the field of management.
It's an organized plan, or it was an organized plan, during what we call the civil rights days to drive the black population out of this area. This was a predominantly black area, and we would have taken oath politically with the right to vote. So the white citizen councils and subversive white groups thought it would be to their advantage to drive the young blacks away. And of course, the young blacks thought it was to their advantage to leave. Then they felt that it was a better life for them in the North. And we organized this organization to give them a means of being able to stay here.
There are 150,000 people in the Federation. Together we own more than 1 million acres of land. The annual meeting is the one time each year that the members can get together and share experiences. A member from Georgia, let's say, can get together with a member from South Carolina or Louisiana and find out what their co-op is up to.
Communication problem has been a problem ever since I can remember.
the 130 co-ops belong to 11 state associations. At the annual meeting, members caucus in their state associations and hear reports of the Federation's activities. They discuss and vote on the annual report, bylaw changes, the general direction of the Federation.
Just U.S. Association. Or if it's the draft of that association chart, and then this book in here, the next page, you can read it. And are we supposed to vote on that today? Right. We need to vote.
Each state association also elects a member to the board of directors, which is the decision-making body of the Federation.
Hopefully we will draw trainees from South Carolina, Georgia.
The board of directors listens to reports and ideas from the Federation staff that works out of EPS. In the last 2 years, the staff has been cut 40% because of cutbacks in government and other funding support. But it still costs $50,000 a month just to keep the Federation going. It's a constant struggle to make payroll, but the people here came out of the civil rights movement and believe in the cooperative movement, and we are determined to keep on working. The Federation Education Department prints material for all the member cooperatives and also for training classes given at the Federation.
We talk about confirmation. You know, in choosing a bull, a person would have to see quite a few bulls.
He would have to look at some top line bulls, and he would have to go to the other extreme so that he can actually make a judgment as opposed to one to the other.
You're a brute cow.
How many pounds per pound a day?
Oh, you mean what should you feed to gain how many pounds per day?
Get her through the one. Yeah.
Oh, well then you have to look at what class brood cow you're talking about. Is it a 900-pound cow?
Yeah.
Is it a 1,000-pound cow? Is it an 800-pound cow?
Can't worry for nobody.
We try to shape our training to fit the practical needs of our members, whether it's raising cattle or accounting. The Demonstration Beef Cattle Project is located on a section of the Federation's 1,325 acres at Epps. When it's fully developed, the farm will bring in revenue for the Federation, as well as being a training ground and a source of breeding animals for the membership. We want to expand the training program by building a library with classrooms. We already have administration, dormitory, and cafeteria buildings at Epps.
You know, at one point, our ideals were a big house, you know, money, clothes. And then when we came into the Federation, then we see people that have no house, what they call a house, I cannot consider to be a house. So then, you know, my whole entire point of view shifts from, you know, what can I do for myself and my family and other people. So you don't worry so much about, you know, well, my friend's got a new car this year. Can I get a new car this year? Or I've been married for 10 years, and after 10 years, you should be able to live in a nice house. You know, what do my kids dress better than the other kids? You know, is my husband making more money? That's no longer of utmost importance to you. And what becomes important is, can I help this man with 8 children make a living so he can feed his children? You know, we become more aware of these kinds of things.
Most time you live in what you have, and that's it. You don't get no better, nothing. That's just it. You just live in what you have. And if you don't want to pay rent to live in that, you just move on someplace else. And most people don't want to leave because this is all they know.
I'm on the welfare, and I'm not able, to build a house. It's rotting down. Need leveling up the porch, rotting. Need fixing. Books, walk like in a mildew. Rain leaks in the house. Burn, wood wet. Can't get the fire started. Can't cook. Wait till it stop raining and dry off some. We don't have enough money to keep the house up. Because the little money we get a month from the welfare people, it ain't enough. So I'll just be glad and happy, that I could get a new house, my children. But
most people who live in rundown housing are too poor to qualify for federal housing loans. The Panola Land Buyers Association in Alabama was organized with the help of the Federation and began to build housing. They were able to build 3 brick houses with private low-interest financing obtained through the Federation.
The house have 4 bedrooms, have a living room, dining room and kitchen combined, bathroom, and also have running water.
Those 2 of my brothers lived with me when I was living there. Now I have a room by myself.
There are 40 more families in the cooperative who are still waiting to get their houses built. The local authorities put a halt to construction by refusing to okay the co-op's water supply because it was too salty to meet the health standards.
The whole Gainesville settlement is salt water with colored and white drinking. You don't see in the health department out there. But I think that it's a group of colored people working together trying to get a better place to live in. And they're trying to stop it. And they're holding the water. Well, they figure if you can't get water, you can't have a lot of housing units and things if you don't have water.
Recently, the county received federal funds to build a water system, which would make it possible to revive plans for building the housing cooperative. In the meantime, the cost of building the houses was increased by 1/3 during the years we were delayed.
When I was young, I thought things could be done much more quickly. Now, with having been involved with the Federation now close to 10 years, that aggressiveness and that strong drive and impatience and whatnot has somewhat been tempered with a little wisdom. And I understand our national situation, social and economic situation. I understand the problems among the privileged people, that are not only their economic problem, but the emotional and psychological problems, and how all those things have to be dealt with, how people have to be educated. It does not disturb me, when a group, if a group wanted to relate to the Federation just because of the economic benefits and does not show any loyalty. Because I know that along with only servicing or addressing an economic need, you have to also offer, some developmental resources. People have to develop. The total person have to develop. And that's part of the responsibility of the Federation, not only to provide needed resources, but, to help create, a framework within which, people, the total person can grow.
In this area, jobs are very limited, and most of the women who are employed here were previously worked as domestics, and they earned from $4 to $5, maybe $8 a week. So we decided that we would get together and form some type of business that we could own and operate ourselves.
It was just started by a group of really determined ladies forming a co-op.
I think we was making about $15 every 2 weeks.
making, but we was determined to have this plant, and that's why we just kept on. Lots of time we went home without any pay at all. For my part, I knew if it didn't help me, I knew it would help some of my children or my grandchildren. And that's why I just kept on coming back, trying to help to get it started.
Just work until now we get $2.10 an hour.
We're making good living. Just about average like that. You know, it's not getting rich, but it's making a living.
My oldest son was in the 11th grade when I first started working here, and he graduated this past school term. And my husband had been laid off work for quite a while, and if I hadn't got a job here and started work, no doubt, he probably had to drop out of school or something because I couldn't get everything that he wanted to participate in school activities. And after I got the job here, I realized how it helped me. It really helped me. And I had 7 children in school at the time.
I believe everybody feels like the co-op is their business. They take pride in ownership. They take pride in making decisions about how the co-op is operated. They take pride in having a place that they can come and work with a little dignity. And we have gained such skill that we are able now to sew for Jessie Penney, Sears Roebuck, and many others. I fear that if the Federation had not provided both technical and financial assistance to our co-op, we would not be where we are today.
I like working. It's for us. It's
That's
not
right.
one person thing. It's everybody's. And ever since I've been here, it's been good. We've been had our downfalls, but we stayed right here. So now, I'm glad I did. And I hope I continue to stay on here. Maybe after I'm gone, somebody else will come along.
We need more colored doctors, look like. Sometimes we have a hard time when we go into a doctor. So he got to wait on a certain group of people before he get around to the black skin person.
The doctor now, he said I just was a little low in iron. He said my blood was okay and everything, but I was just a little bit low in iron. He didn't tell me nothing to do. He didn't give me anything. He said he was just a little low.
Told you come back.
Told me to come back on the 13th and he'd check that and see.
Well, he gives me the medicine. Well, when I take the medicine, it makes me feel good about a day. And after then, well, I'm back in the same old feeling. Might need to go to the hospital and get cut open.
High blood, my sugar run up, my kidneys was fine, my hip, and I had all that together. And I had to pay $18 every 2 weeks for about 6 or 8 weeks, and now he give me 4 weeks. My income very small.
There's a clear need for a low-income health center in the rural area. The Federation organized groups like the Whitfield Community Health Club and worked with them to get one built. They held bake sales, raffles, anything to raise money. And when the Federation was finally able to secure a small grant to build the center, the community helped with the construction.
The most prevalent health problems in the area are diabetes, hypertension, malnutrition, and different heart diseases. What we will try to do here at the Black Belt Community Health Center is to meet as many of these needs as we possibly can. We will try to also educate the public concerning different things such as general health care and diet, especially diet. They need a lot of dietary counseling and education. If we concentrate on preventive medicine, we might not have to actually have so much acute medicine practice.
In the middle of the Black Belt of Alabama and Mississippi is the largest public works project now underway in the country, the Tennessee-Tombigbee Waterway. It will create a major new inland water route that will cut through land owned by the Federation and its members and bring industrialization to the area. They justified this multi-billion-dollar project by the jobs and benefits it would bring the impoverished communities that surround it. This hasn't happened. Jobs are not going to area people. The Federation has to set up heavy equipment training programs because most of the skilled jobs were given to workers from as far away as Iowa and Oklahoma. Several of our trainees got jobs on the waterway.
Before I started this training, I was a tractor-trailer truck driver. The waterways coming through, and a lot of the freight would be hauled or would be carried by water instead of by trucks. And they were talking about selling out or liquidating the stock, going out of business, which they did sell out. And I thought maybe that would cause them to cut back some of the trucks, and I had opportunity to take the train, so that's what I did.
40% of the people in the waterway area are black. We organized the Minority People's Council to bring minority people together to demand 40% of the jobs and other benefits the waterway will bring in construction once it is completed and industry moves in.
Gainesville plan calls for a maximum of 20% minority utilization in an area that's roughly 75% black. We have some serious problems with that, knowing that federal contracts should be reflective of the population makeup of a particular community. So what we did was, we, the Minority People's Council, 5-way pack of the heavy and highway unions, and representatives of the AFL-CIO Civil Rights Division, and we called for a plan that called for 40% utilization of minorities up and down the waterway from Mobile to Tennessee line.
The Federation views the Tennessee-Tombigbee Waterway as one of the many projects coming to the South which black and poor people must have a share in.